I think we're all here. Looks like we are. And we made an executive decision that it might be a little bit more enjoyable to stand in the sun as opposed to up in the shade here. Good morning and welcome. My name's Grant Woodhams. I'm the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly. I'm your host for the day. It's fantastic to see you here, and it's a real privilege to have you start this event from the Parliament of Western Australia. Can I just acknowledge, before I do say a few words about the big role, some very important people who are with us today, including Lady Cutler. Nice to see you, Lady Cutler. Also Trooper Mark Donaldson, VC, Leslie Murphy and son Connor. Now, I did see Connor around somewhere. He must be still rolling down the ramp. He'll be here shortly, I'm sure. When we started talking about the big role, and Louise Kirith over here is on the left. Louise came and asked me if we could start the big role here from Parliament House in Western Australia, and I asked Louise what the big role was, and she explained it to me, and I thought, well, what an absolutely fabulous ambition, and what an amazing amount of character that you need to complete such an endeavour. So, just in case I do forget, can I congratulate all of those of you who are going to take part in the big role right across Australia, because such a thing has never been undertaken before, but given your character and spirit and fortitude and fighting capacities, I know that you will accomplish it. I've had a little bit of a chance to speak to Chris Williams, and Chris was telling me before that some of you have a little bit of a chance to do somewhat of a rehearsal by doing some rolls around Sydney, I think from Manly around to Moore Park, and then I think some of the other towns in New South Wales have been rolled around significantly. You'll get to roll through some Western Australian towns on your journey out of Western Australia into South Australia, then eventually across to Sydney again. So well done on that. It's not just about making the journey though. I think it's about, and as you know, it's about awareness. It's creating an awareness among able-bodied people of some of the challenges of being disabled, some of the needs of the disabled, and some of the ways that we really should be trying to be far more inclusive, far more involving, and spending a lot more time working out ways how we can all make contributions to our communities and make Australian society in general a better place for everybody. And I believe the big role is part of that endeavour, so can I congratulate you on that as well? I think it's fantastic. I'm just going to roll some statistics out, and ever since I've heard about the big role, I've been using the word roll a lot. So I'm just going to roll some statistics out for you. Some of you will know what this is. You're about to do 4,500 kilometres. Just let that sink in for a couple of seconds. 4,500. The piece of paper tells me there are only 8 people doing the organisation. I find that hard to believe. You might need a couple more, but 8 is what I have. It's going to take you 4 months. Okay, what are we now? What's this? End of April, May, June, July, August. Sometime in August we're rolling over to Sydney Harbour Bridge maybe. I don't know how you're going to roll into Sydney. About 400 meals, hopefully all not Mrs. Max pies, and I'm not being disparaging about Mrs. Max. I have them occasionally myself, and that's why I'm in such splendid form. But you're going to have 400 meals prepared for you, and that's going to take a lot of work as well. But I know you'll be able to consume them. You'll be fairly hungry. And I'm told at the end of all that you will have spent roughly about 25,000 hours on the road. Some of you will be a little bit older. So good stuff. What I'd like to do at this stage, because I do think I've said enough, thank you very much for choosing this venue to start your journey. I was really, as I mentioned earlier, honoured that you would suggest that you'd start this from the Parliament of Western Australia. But I'd like to introduce Big Roll Foundation Chairman Chris Williams to say a few words. Chris?
Thank you very much. Closer?
Yep.
Thank you very much, Grant, Lady Cutler, Trooper Mark Donaldson, VC, honoured guests, and our boys. Before I didn't say anything else, these guys have worked incredibly hard over the last X number of months. Wayne's the wheelchair roll coordinator, all the boys involved. We've got a whole team back in Sydney, and they've done a fantastic job getting us this far. I think we should give everybody a round of applause to start with. See, with that good, we even clap ourselves. It's fantastic. Okay, how did this all start? People ask me, how did this all start? 5 years ago, I was on my back in St Vincent's Private Hospital, having had 2 very serious back operations. I was on a walking stick and on the way to being in a wheelchair. And at a function that we had for the foundation, the headmaster of Sydney High said to me, now, you know, where the Governor-General is unveiling the Roden Cutler VC statue of Manly in about 6 or 7 weeks. And you know that we're starting the work on the Roden Cutler VC gates at Sydney High already in this coming week. Wouldn't it be good if we could link the two? How do you think we might do it? And I'd said to him, okay, well, we'll ask some of the people who we take in wheelchairs on a daily basis if they'd like a whole lot of celebrities to roll them after the Governor-General unveils the statue all the way from Manly to Moore Park. And he said, can you organise that? I said, I talked to the people, I talked to our wheelchair people, they said, yeah, great, this will be fantastic, we'll do this. And that's what we did. So immediately after that I had to go into hospital, and I had a phone call from the headmaster who said, hey Chris, that was really good. Now, next year, what I'd like you to do, I want you to ring the Governor-General, and I want you to ask him if he will dedicate the Roden Cutler gates, and then you can roll back the other way over to Manly. And I said to him, I think it must have been the morphine or something. Yeah, why not? And why would we stop at Manly? Why don't we go all the way around New South Wales and then all the way around Australia? And silence. And he said, do you think we could do that? And I said, mate, they told us we couldn't get from Manly to Moore Park, and we did, so I think we can do everything. So here we are. That's why we're here. We've done 120 wheelchair roll events around New South Wales, as Grant was saying. We've had a fantastic time. We've met a lot of people. We've raised a lot of money. We've helped, I don't know, how many charities have we helped, Wayne? 100 and something? That was an incredible amount. And what we're going to be doing on the way is we're not only giving our message out all the time that mobility matters and carers care, but we're going to be saying to people along the way, hey, if you're a carer, we love you, and we want to do something to say thank you. So we're going to give you a medal, and we're going to give you a certificate of appreciation. And for all the people in wheelchairs with other mobility problems, all those disabled achievers, we're going to say the same to them. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of things. We're going to be kicking a football. We're going to be hitting a cricket ball. We're going to be dribbling a basketball all the way from Perth to Sydney, all 4,500 Ks. It's a great adventure, as Dick Smith, one of our honorary custodians, says. This is the biggest adventure of all time for charity, and it is. So I'd like to thank you guys here in Perth for hosting us as we head off, and for everybody who's helped us so far and everybody who will be involved from now on. A great big thank you. And it now gives me great pleasure to call Mark Donaldson up, if he could please. And he's got a couple of things to do. One of which is to be the official starter, which we'll do in a minute. But before that, there are some people here who we want to say a special thank you to. Now, Wayne's got in his hands some Sir Roden Cutler Foundation medals, and we do have a certificate over in the back of the Jeep there. And Mark, if you would be so kind, could I ask you if you would present some of these medals of appreciation? And what we'd like to do first is, Leslie Murphy, would you come up here, please? Now, Leslie has been a tireless worker here and for us, and she's also a mother of the most wonderful guy, the face of our big roll. There he is. Hey, Connor. Now, what we do is we have a certificate of appreciation for every carer we meet, and it's signed by Lady Cutler and Ros Packer, who's our patron for carers. And I'd like Mark Donaldson, if you wouldn't mind, could you present that please to Leslie? And also, because we always say that every carer deserves a medal, Mark is going to give you now a medal. And for Connor, who is the greatest disabled achiever of them all, a medal for him. Now, Grant and Louise, you've done so much for us. Would you come here, please? Because we'd like you two to have a medal as well. Okay, now before I ask Mark to be the official starter, as I said, there are a couple of things. And the other one is that as we go around, we try and get people to take on this message that mobility matters and carers care, and we try and help them do what they've got to do better. That's why we are taking with us these two wonderful vehicles, the Toyota Porte, and where is he? Here's young Lucas there. He's sitting in the electric wheelchair from the Porte, which I think you've all seen, and the Nissan Cube, which is the easiest wheelchair accessible vehicle that we've found. It's absolutely fantastic. And I do have a special announcement to make. We try and help people in all states, and today we're helping Western Australia through the kindness and generosity of Brian and Kim Hubbard. Their firm, Down Under Automotive Services, is going to donate the funding for one of these vehicles for Perth to start off a pick-me-up service, our service that we have in Sydney, here in Perth, to be run by the volunteers from the Muscular Dystrophy Association. So what a fantastic effort. Would you two please come up? Mark, would you please do the honours? Would you like to say a few words, Brian? No? There you go. Yeah.
I'd just like to say thank you very much for the medal. It's a great honour, and whatever we can do for the Sir Roden Cutler Foundation or getting mobility, the awareness about mobility out there, we'd be quite happy to do. And have a great time. I'm sure you'll have a fabulous 4 months. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Now, a final word from me. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear that. But I'd like to thank all our sponsors. They are numerous, but we do have. I know there have been some remarks made, Grant, about the 400 meals. But without our great mates from the Pork Corporation, Grant, give us a wave, from Ingham's Turkeys, from Farmer Joe's Chickens, and from everybody else who's helped us. It's been absolutely amazing. We couldn't do this without you guys. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I want to thank each and every sponsor, although I can't name them, but we will give you one of our posters, and you'll see there's 50-something sponsors on that page. So thank you all very much again, and I'd now like to ask Trooper Mark Donaldson, VC, to be the official starter of the big roll. And before he does, I know he's got the most wonderful medal of all, but would you please accept a Sir Roden Cutler Foundation medal for doing this for us today?
Just before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who supports this great cause and great charity. Without you, they wouldn't be able to do it, and without these guys, no one would know about the awareness that they're trying to bring to Australia about mobility and the carers. I think it's really important what they're trying to achieve, and day-to-day life as a society, we make a lot of excuses about why we can't do things, and these guys are showing you that you don't have any excuses. They're a great inspiration to a lot of people to show that there is no excuses. Anyone can do something amazing, and anyone can do something small and turn it into something big, as these guys are doing, to show the rest of Australia that is achievable. And I'd like to thank all of you for that. So we'll kick this off, and some inspiring words before we'll get this show on the roll.
I'd like to now present Mark this Roden ceremonial walking stick, which is exactly the same one that the Governor-General used for starting the first two, and exactly the same one that we've used now 125 times throughout New South Wales and Australia. So Mark, if you go down and do the honours, we'll get Connor to come up with everybody, line up behind, and on your signal, Mark, we will rock.